On a Thursday edition of the Daily Clone, Jon Heacock previews South Dakota. Matt Campbell welcomes back the 2000 Iowa State football team, and we give you a sneak peek into the newest Cyclone Fanatic podcast. First, a word from one of our sponsors.
The Neil Diamond Musical, A Beautiful Noise, the uplifting true story, featuring all the songs you love from his Grammy Award-winning career. October 21st through 26th at Des Moines Civic Center. On sale at dmpa.org.
Hello and welcome into the Northwest Bank Studios for the Daily Clone here on a Thursday. Game day is 2 days away, and Iowa State has a different type of challenge facing themselves in Week 1. Of course, in Week 0, Iowa State had to prepare for a team that they were used to preparing for in November. Now Iowa State is playing an FCS opponent that already has film on them. Plus, South Dakota has a new head coach and new starters all over the field. It's a unique challenge that Jon Heacock has been prepared for all summer.
We put game plans in, all summer long for all these first 4 games, not necessarily knowing what you're going to get. This team hasn't played a game yet. Last week we didn't know. They had a new offensive coordinator, new coaches. You're watching every game where the place they used to come from. We did that all summer. We've put a different game plan in for every game, and we've got that. We've prepared that, and we did that in June actually. So we're repping the things that we've kind of worked through, and again trying to make them all a little bit unique. Because the teams that we play are unique. So it's a challenge for sure. You don't really have any idea what you're getting. The other night we saw some stuff we hadn't gotten, and we saw some stuff that we practiced. So, and that's just part of it. But we spent a lot of time on this team, really on all these first 4 games. We spent a lot of time game planning in prep.
The 2025 season is setting up to be one with expectations as high as ever. A lot of that is possible because of the 2000 team. 25 years ago, the 2000 team won the Insight.com Bowl, the first bowl win in school history, led by Dan McCarney and Sage Rosenfels. Now, Iowa State honors that 2000 team, and Matt Campbell is thrilled to have him back.
I think it's really awesome. I obviously what Coach Mack did here, taking this program where it was at the time he inherited it to, I think, giving Iowa State football real belief, and obviously what that 2000 team did was, what I think we continue to try to do here is break barriers. And they were able to do that with a first bowl win. And, some of those great players have been just such an anchor to so many of us, to be honest with you, since our time here at Iowa State of how do we push this program forward? How do we continue to try to find a place where sustained success can actually occur in the football program? And not only have they been, during their time here, great players, but since their time, they've been an anchor for our success. Without them, we wouldn't be where we are today for sure.
A little more throwback. Jamie Pollard announced on Tuesday's Coaches Show that the helmet cart will be making a return. It hasn't been revealed exactly what it will look like, but the iconic helmet cart will be back on the sidelines this Saturday. Last year when Iowa State played an FCS opponent in Week 1 of the season, the Cyclones grinded out a 21-3 win over North Dakota in a real meat grinder type game. Cyclone Fanatics' Chris Williams expects a little bit more of the same against South Dakota.
And that's kind of what I anticipate here. Now, having said that, I think Iowa State doing nothing, it has more horses to move the football. But I think this is going to be a 3 tight end set, power running. I don't think Rocco Beck is going to use his legs much at all. I think they're going to exclusively tell him, do not run. And I could see this. Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to be able to run the football. And I also think that that's primarily what they're going to do. This is an under game. Iowa State is going to win this game in the high 20s, low 30s. And I would be surprised if South Dakota, despite having a great quarterback, who, again, I think will end up in the National Football League in some capacity, I would be surprised if they score more than 13, 14 points total, and I don't even know if they'll get there.
You can check out the full Cyclone Fanatic pregame show and all of your CF podcast feeds to get you up to game day. We also launched a new podcast on the Cyclone Fanatic Network that is out today. It's called The Beat Reporters. It's myself, Rob Gray, and Ben Hutchins of the Quad City Times. It's a great episode. Here's a sneak peek into our pilot.
I put together the list of how is Nebraska done, how is Northwestern done, Notre Dame, Navy, Georgia Tech, and Florida State. The teams to have played in this game, what do they do coming back? And guys, you would not believe, maybe you would considering that lineup, but it is tough. I think these numbers would get any coach fired. Listen to this. First game back, 4-2, 9-15 in the next 4. So the month after. And total season after beginning a game in Ireland, 29-45. Those are numbers that would get any coach fired.
Wow.
Who had the best record? Probably Notre Dame.
Notre Dame that one year.
Because we saw how Florida State fell off the map last season after feeling snubbed with the undefeated regular season, the previous season, and then, just all the wheels coming off last season, post-Dublin, pre-Dublin, everything. But I guess what I would say is great stats, by the way, Ben. And also, you're right. I mean, Campbell is obsessive about things in a good way. He's not going to leave any stone unturned, and all the guys said that, it was about, and I was at that gathering too, more concerned about, what comes next, not only this week, but they cut it into this first quarter of games, right? Because then you have the big Cy-Hawk rivalry with Fox, all the big Fox afternoon shows, late morning afternoon shows being there. And of course, a weird, tricky game at Arkansas State where they've always got talent. Sun Belt, they always bite some teams in the Power Four. So that's part of the whole picture. And I think Campbell's focused on it. I think the players have stayed focused on it. They say all the right things, even though this South Dakota team lost a lot of guys. They're rebuilding it with transfers. It's interesting to see FCS team do that, kind of like FBS teams do with a handful of guys from lower and upper, and saw some guys go to FBS. But you got a star quarterback in Aiden Bowman, who Iowa State is well familiar with him, being 2 years here behind Brock Purdy and I guess other guys.
If you want to hear more conversations just like that, check out the Beat Reporters wherever you listen to your Cyclone Fanatic podcasts. Time for my game pick. I am taking the Cyclones 34-13. I think it might be a slow-ish start on the scoreboard, but this game's never in question. Iowa State pulls away with a big third quarter and overpowers the Coyotes. Thanks for your support of this week's Daily Clone, Monday through Thursday. We hope that we can get you up to game week every single week throughout the season. And then on Saturday, you know where to be. Go to the Cyclone Fanatic YouTube channel. We'll have live halftime and post-game, as well as post-game highlights. I'll have a post-game report. It is the spot to be. Thanks for checking out all of the Cyclone Fanatic content here in the Northwest Bank Studios.